Hello everybody, my name is GhostOBTC, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new level limit breaks that just came out. So we got 5 new level limit breaks that are coming out at 1900 PST today, as of recording this, as of uploading it. Now, I gotta give a shout out to my friend. He'll probably be in the comments. His name's KO on YouTube. He isn't letting me use his account, but I am using his account just so I can show you guys these level limit breaks on PC because I don't want to do it on my phone. I really don't. But yeah, these are the 5 new level limit breaks, being V1 Akainu, V1 Aokiji, V1 Law, V1 Kizaru, and V1 Fuji. Now, I had a thought that they would do the Admirals together, and they did that. I also thought they would do V1 Mihawk, since he's like the oldest character without a level limit break, but I guess not. And we also haven't talked about V2 Katakuri, but everyone really knows what he does, so I'm not going to be talking about him in this video. But yeah, I'll be talking about the 5 new characters up here and their abilities today, and then as of maybe later today or tomorrow, I'll be discussing the tier list on where these characters rank. So let's start with Akainu. So this is V1 Akainu, obviously. And looking at his stats, he has some pretty good stats, but we're not here to talk about his stats. We're here to talk about his abilities. So his captain will boost strength characters' attack by 4.5, attack by 5x when they have a strength slot, boost other characters' attack by 3.5, boost the chance of landing on strength slots, and when tapping on this character with a strength slot, will boost the type effects of normal attacks of strength characters by 1.5 for one turn. Now, we can only really make assumptions. My guess is this will be like a little icon buff, like Kaido, the Super Tandem Kaido, because he applies it to the enemy, and it says this exact same wording of, and when tapping on this character, or the strength slot, except for him, it's a Wano slot, but you get the idea. Here's a pretty solid captain effect. There's 3.5 rainbow, but 3.5 obviously doesn't cut it nowadays. And then 5x is pretty good. I know it goes up with Limit Break expansion. I believe, I could be wrong, who knows. And remember, these characters are just like if you have the 9 copies, not expansion. But it's a pretty solid captain effect, and I don't know the rate of strength slots, but I'm pretty sure it's a good amount. And with double Akainu, obviously that goes up, and then you're getting more of a constant 5x boost. Now this captain effect is a bit bland. There's no matching slots. I do like that little color affinity boost, but unless you're facing like a Dex enemy, this is really not going to be that good. It's fine. The multipliers are okay. We've seen characters go up to 5.5, but this is just fine. I like the uniqueness of the color affinity boost. But let's talk about the special. Now, the special will deal 200 extra characters attack and non-type damage to all enemies. So a good wave clearing. Only change all slots, including block, into strength, and boost strength characters attack by 2.5x for one turn. And if you have an attack boost, it's plus 0.3 to any attack boost instead. This is pretty good because, I mean, it goes through block slots now, so you can get that full board of guaranteed block, not block slots, of strength slots. And it's a very high multiplier for that attack boost. 2.5 is a lot of damage. I know we're in the era of like 3 times 3.5, but like 2.5 can get you through a lot of stuff, partnering it up with like more attack boost, more orb boost, stuff like that. Now, I actually have to check, does he make strength slots beneficial as a sailor? I don't know, but I would believe he does, right? But who knows? Anyway, what did I say? Did I say 2.5? I'm not, never mind. But yeah, I gotta learn how to get out of here. But yeah, his special is pretty good, seeing as like, I just gotta go back, my bad. But like, yeah, his special is pretty good. He's got a little bit of, oh, let me go back to 150. Giving a large attack boost and that full board of slots through block is pretty good, but I do think the captain is a bit basic. But obviously, I'll be thinking about where to place him on a tier list more once we actually get there. But this is a pretty good upgrade. I do like it, but he's completely mono strength centric. If you go up against quick, you're screwed, especially if you have him as a captain and attack with a strength slot. And if you're facing Dex, he's going to be a monster, but at the same time, no super type, no super class. It's good, but I think that it's not as unique as some other builds. But yeah, actually, I mean, it kind of is with the captain effect. But anyways, let's move on to Aokiji now. Alright, so now we have V1 Aokiji, so we're going to be looking at his abilities at level 150, pretty good stats as well, and yeah, let's talk about it. So he'll reduce his own special charge time by 3 turns at the start of the quest, and he'll further reduce the crew special charge time by 1 turn. He'll boost crew's attack by 4.5, so he's a rainbow attack boost, and HP by 1.35, and boost their attack Further, if any enemies were defeated in the previous turn, up to 5.25 times if you defeated 5 enemies. Well, not 5 enemies, 1 enemy every single turn for 5 turns. And then at the start of battle 3, you get 2 turns of a 2 times attack and or boost. That's insane. Now, that's a really good effect. Like, you're gonna be reaching stage 3 and you're just gonna have like a good multiplier. And obviously stage 3, if you're using this guy in like an arena, you can just kind of activate that effect, and then you won't really have to activate a special, because usually stage 3 of an arena is kind of like, oh, I'll give you a little bind, and you get like around it with a support, and then you just kind of like gotta kill, but maybe you don't kill, and this can just get you through a lot of content. A lot of annoying stage 3s just can be like wiped away with this little captain effect. And being able to get up to a 5.25 rainbow is really, really good. I think this is definitely much better than Akainu for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I really like this captain effect, and he's gonna get like minus 4 turns of cooldown. He's gonna go down to like a 6 turn cooldown, which is insane to think about. So yeah, this captain effect was very good. But we gotta see how the special is. So the special will extend crew's attack and or boost by 1 turn. Oh, okay, it's a 2 turn or boost. You're kind of meant to activate at stage 3, then use this special, extend them by to a 3 turn buff, carry them into stage 4, and then on the final boss stage you do something else. But yeah, so he'll extend those, and then he'll give a chain boundary of 2.75 upwards of 35 times for 1 turn, and then he'll deal a million fixed damage ignoring all defensive effects. Now it's kind of a bland special when we have just to look at it, like it's not a lot of wording compared to like, I don't know, Super Tandem Kid and Law, but like this is a very, very good special. Like the extending of attack and or boost is kind of like meh. Like you really would prefer an attack and or boost, but seeing how his captain effect works, it is still pretty good. Now he can get you a chain boundary, and the chain boundary is pretty good. It's better than the 2.5 upwards of 35, and it starts at a really high portion. And if you have chain boost, like the Super Tandem One Kid, like I just talked about, like chain tap timing buffs, it'll be very good. And he's a damage dealing special, so you can always attach Smoker support on him for a attack boost to your quick characters. But obviously, you're probably gonna use this guy to extend your buffs and then bring them into the following stage, and then kill the enemy with that. I do kind of wish that maybe it provided something else as well, because it just seemed kind of bland. But the chain boundary is very good. Like I can't understate how good the chain boundary is. But then again, you're not gonna really be killing final boss stages with just the chain boundary. You kind of want them attack boost and the orb boost and whatever else. So yeah, I think this is a very good level limit break upgrade. The captain effect is insane with that 2 times attack and orb boost that you're meant to just kind of like use a special and then carry into the next stage. And he doesn't get any, what's it called, crewmate ability upgrades. But yeah, this character, very, very strong character. I really like the upgrades they've done with Kuzan. I think he's much better than Akainu, and so far he's the best of the batch. But yeah, let's move on to V1 Law. Alright, so this is V1 Law. Obviously 7 turn cooldowns, insane. I believe this is a limit break expansion. But yeah, let's have a look at all of his abilities now. So he is a Slice Your Own Free Spirit Captain, 5 times a boost, 5.25 if you hit 3 perfects, and heals 1000 HP at the end of the turn. Now, partnering this up with Liberal Hind, partnering this up with just Auto Heal Sagas, partnering this up with Double Law is gonna get you like what? Let's see, 2000 and like 4000 healing at the end of the turn. That's pretty good if you have like some characters to overheal or some stuff like that. But then again, it's a very, very, very bare bones captain. Like, if I talked about Akainu's being bare bones, this is bare bones. Like, attack boost, no HP boost, and then a bit of healing at the end of the turn. Like, this is very basic, and it's just like, I don't think this will see much play as a captain, because it's like, why use this for, like, let's say a slasher team, when you can use something like Wajer to make slots match and get a 5.5 times boost, and, like, also have the, like, insane switch effect. Like, it really doesn't make sense to me why this character was so bland. Like, Law is such a unique and interesting character in the anime, and I feel like they could have taken some more aspects out of that and put it in. Maybe they could have upgraded the healing a bit. Who knows? But it's like fine. The multipliers are good, and the multipliers, can I really carry that captain effect though? Not really. Now let's talk about a special. So he'll allow specials damage to bypass like all of the defensive effects and stuff like that. I'll just read the text. Allow special damage, special end of turn damage, and HP reducing specials to ignore all enemies. Defensive effects for 1 turn. Applies increased damage taken status to all enemies by 1.5x for 1 turn. Deals 200x hit his attack and side damage to one enemy, and reduces crew special charge time by 1 turn. Now, it's a very low CT for like cooldown reducing special. One person, I think his name is like Ome Wabaka, he put it in the comment section talking about that for Log Luffy on my last tier list video. But we're not here to talk about Log Luffy, we're here to talk about this. So, yes, he applies increased damage taken. That's like the shining factor of him. And now when I first like heard a little bit about that, I was like, oh, okay, he applies it through immunity, right? Since like his whole thing is going through immunity, but he doesn't apply it through immunity. So like, I think the whole consensus of increased damage taken is like, if it's gonna go through immunity, it's like 1.5. If it's not, it's gonna be like 1.75 2 times at most. This though is a bland special. Like the whole bypassing of like defensive effects for your damage dealing buffs really doesn't matter, seeing as normal attacks only is as prevalent. And the cooldown is nice, the damage is fine, he's a damage dealing special, I think you can attach like Shank support. And the increased damage taken is just like, if you can get it to activate, that's great, you get a little bit of buff, but otherwise it's just like the little cherry on top of just like the special that gets countered completely. And does he resist special burst? I believe he was. He does not resist special burst. Maybe with his new sailors, he does not. Okay, that is not very good. I would have much preferred if he did actually resist special burst, because now just making him so much better. But yeah, Law is just basic. I feel like from what we've seen so far, he's not that good. However, like, yeah, I just don't know how to justify it, because like he just really didn't get that much of a buff. Like they kind of just increased the multipliers a bit, and then like they increased the multipliers like a tiny bit, as you see, and then like added increased damage taken, and then like sent him on his way. But yeah, that's it for Law. A little bit disappointed being a big Law fan, obviously. And yeah, let's go talk about V1 Kizaru, the PvP god. So we'll talk about his PvP abilities too. Here is V1 Kizaru, V1 Borsalino, whatever you want to call him. He is here. We'll talk about his PvP abilities as well. But yeah, let's talk about his in-game abilities as well. His Captain Effect will reduce character special charge time by 2 turns, and reduce crew special charge time by 2 turns. And boost crew's attack by 4.5x, recovery by 1.35. Makes his side slots beneficial, and if you use a special, you get a 5x boost instead. That's a pretty good ability, seeing as he's multi-stage and gives a lot of cooldowns, so you can just kind of spam out his stage 1 special. And so yeah, this is pretty good because, like, okay, let's say you're running double Kizaru, right? Your Kizaru and your friend Captain Kizaru are gonna get 6 turns of cooldown, because obviously they reduce their own by 2, each of them reduce the crews by 2, so it goes down to 6. He makes a slot beneficial being side slot, and he's a Rainbow Captain, which is pretty good. The recovery boost is nice, seeing as like recovery boosts aren't that common, but it's a pretty good like captain ability. He's gonna be a very good like speed farming captain. So you're just gonna like speed through content, boom. You're at the final boss stage. Your special recharge, you just take out the enemy with a 5 times boost, and you're out of there. It's pretty good. I do think it's like probably one of the better captain. Actually, no, like Kuzan's is just insane. But like this is probably the best captain effect besides Kuzan that we've seen. I think it's better than Akainu's. It's less unique, being like not having that color affinity buff. But I think all the cooldown probably just excels even more, because like I don't know, it just seems better to me. But yeah, let's talk about his special. So I won't talk about his stage 1, but just know it's like everything but like a little bit worse. And then he'll reduce shooter and slasher characters' special charge time by 2 turns, then change their slots including blocking to their own type. He'll double their attack and type effects of normal attacks for shooter and slasher for 2 turns. Well, that's 2 times. And then heal 15 times character's recovery, and then deal 20 hits of random non-type damage to all enemies. Well, randomly, not to all enemies. So this is a very good special. The whole thing about it is like you're gonna be using shooters and slashers. I believe he's a rainbow captain though, so that's a bit weird. So yeah, you're building like shooters and slashers because they'll get the cooldown, they'll get the slots, they'll get the attack, and they'll get the affinity boost. But this is a pretty good special in my opinion. If you're running a full shooter or slasher team, and obviously slashers are pretty good, shooters are the worst though, you can get that full board of like slots, attack boost, type effect boost, and a lot of cooldown. This character is a very fast character, and I really like the upgrades they've given him. Plus, being a damage dealing special is pretty nice, always good for supports, and then healing is also very good too. I think I love this like special. I think it's definitely my favorite special I've seen from all of the level limit breaks this batch, and yeah, I think this special is definitely the best. Like, it provides so much for your crew. And like the whole thing is like it's for shooters and slashers, but like slashers are pretty good. Like you could always build a slasher team. He's not restricted to just shooters. So I think he's very, very good in my opinion. But is he as good as Kuzan? I just think that Captain Effect kind of carries Kuzan, but I think this guy is like so close. But yeah, I really do love what's it called, Kizaru. And who knows, my opinions on Kuzan, my opinions on Akainu, Law, and Kizaru could always change when I do the tier list. But I think this is a very, very, very good upgrade they've given Kizaru, seeing as he was garbage. But let's talk about his Rumble stuff. So, his new Rumble ability, I believe this is. Let's check out his Rumble stats. So, at level 150 and at level 5, he'll give Slasher and Shooter class teammates speed up level 7, and for the first 40 seconds, Slashers and Shooter class teammates will get CT speed level 4. Pretty good. I'm not really a Rumble nerd, so I don't really know too much about Rumble, but that's a lot of big numbers, so that seems pretty good. And now on a 15 CT, at level 10 he'll target 4 enemies for 1 times character's attack, and then target shooters and slashers for level 8 attack for 24 seconds. That's really good, because obviously if you partner this up with a CT speed, it's gonna go by very quickly. They're just gonna start stacking up attack, and like Watcher goes to attack, and their entire team's dead. Oh, great! Like this is a very, very good. Like if you're a PvP nerd and you got this guy maxed, you're in good stead. This guy is pretty good. Level 8 attack is always good, but then again, I don't know what he did before, so yeah, he seems pretty good. I mean, he was always good, but still. Let's move on to the final character now, which is Fujitor. Alright, so this is Fujitor. I hate Fujitor. Like, not in the anime, obviously, but like, I just post so many dupes to this guy, and he's so garbage. Like, I just hope that his level limit breaks good, you know? I say a lot of dupes, but not that many, but still. He'll boost Slasher's attack by 4.75, HP by 1.5, and boost their attack by 5.5 when they hit good, great, perfect. Well, I don't like this captain effect. I don't like the captains that are like, you gotta hit 4 perfects, you gotta hit like 200 perfects in a row, and then you gotta hit like good, great, perfect, or something like that. Like, I just don't like those, because they get destroyed by barriers, they mess up your tap timing, and then like, they just mess up all your chain. So it's just like, 5.5 though, if you can get it off, it's really good, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this captain effect also falls under the whole thing of law, where it's just way too basic. Like, it's an attack boost, HP boost, and it's like, for some reason, like, the only slasher level limit break I can really think of, like, that isn't in this batch, is like Zoro, right? And Zoro, Law, and what's it called? Fuji, they're all slasher captains, and they're all very basic as captains. And it's just like, why do they make them so basic? They could have made them so much better. They could have added like end of turn damage to them, depending on like how much damage you took or something like that, which would be pretty sick with his like devil fruit ability. Or they could make it like, I don't know, his normal attacks bypass defensive effects or something. I don't know, they could have done a lot more with this character, but they just didn't. Well, maybe his special is much better. Let's read this. So he'll deal 50 executed attack and non-type damage to random enemies 10 times. He'll change slasher character slots, including block to characters on type. He'll lock crew slots for 1 turn, delay all enemies fight for 2 turns, and then give it 3.5 times chain lock for 3 turns. It's okay. Like, Kizaru does it a slot minute, but also for shooters. And the 3.5 times chain lock is fine, but in most pieces of content, you're going to want a chain down tree, and you're going to want the chain boost, because your damage is going to exceed the 3.5 times the boost. The delay never works The locking of slots is like fine, and then it's just like a basic special. Like this special is not gonna help you out a lot. Like the whole good component of this special is like the 3.5 times chain lock. But realistically, like there's so many other characters like that could provide you more. And this guy's slasher centric. He's not in-centric. If I want a slasher for 3.5 times chain lock, I'll probably go for Iso Kiku, and even above that, I'll go for Shanksku. So like, I feel like they missed the mark with this character as well, because it's like they could have done so much more. The 3.5 times chain lock is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that this character is not as good as they could have made him. But yeah, that's it for the level limit breaks. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for me. Done with this commentary for today. I'm gonna be getting to edit this, and I'm gonna start working on the tier list now. Hoping to get this up today, and hopefully I'm not lazy with editing, and hopefully I can start the level limit break tier list video soon, because I want to bring that to you. I want to bring that to you guys. It's a very fun video for me to make. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.